I'm going to start where you left off, Director Rubidoux, and this relates to the contract support costs. You've outlined what the administration is prepared to do with full funding and mandatory beginning in 17. And I appreciate you putting that statement before the committee here this morning. As I mentioned in my opening statements, oftentimes what we will get is the statement of general support, but then we don't see an actual legislative proposal. Do you plan to send the Congress a proposal for contract support costs, and if so, when?
Well, the congressional budget justification includes the details for the main components of the proposal, and we didn't want to give a detailed proposal because we wanted to take the time to work with Congress and the tribes on it and give time for consultation. But basically, the proposal to reclassify in 2017 is to make contract support costs a mandatory authorization for 3 years with amounts for each of those 3 years that would aim to fully fund contract support costs, and they're set at levels high enough to make sure we have enough funding to do that. And then it would allow for revisiting the estimates and reauthorizing every 3 years.
I understand that, but I also recognize that given the timeline, this all happens after this administration is no longer in place. And so that's why I'm curious as to whether or not we're actually going to see that proposal. As you've outlined the costs for contract support in 17, 18, then in 19, have pay-go offsets been identified for the new mandatory spending?
Well, while there's no specific pay-go identified, all the proposals in the fiscal year 2016 President's budget are paid for in the context of the budget of savings and investments for both fiscal year 2016 and proposals in the out years as well.
So for the proposals in 17, 18, 19, you do have that addressed in your proposal?
The overall President's budget addresses that through savings and in other investments.
Just a question as to why a 3-year period. Why is the proposal not to make the program mandatory permanently?
Well,
what's the magic there?
We are eager to discuss this proposal with you and did consider all options. This is the proposal that the administration is putting forward, but we do want to discuss it with you, and we're eager to fix this. We want to get full funding of contract support costs, that policy to continue, and we wanted to take time. As you mentioned before, people were mad about that proposal in 2014. Now we're providing time for people to actually come up with a proposal that can work for all of us.
Well, and it is something that, you know, if we're kind of revisiting this every 3 years, that can be complicated too. So I look forward to discussing more with you.